Hello and welcome to the Blobber Checks Out, the Broken Roads demo. Drop Bear Bite would like to acknowledge the Wada Wurungung, Lutrinwala, Turunbal, Bun Wurung, Duramble, Wadjuk, Kabi Kabi, Jinjibara people, and the traditional custodians of the land on which their game is made, and pay our respect to their elders, past, present, and emerging. So supposedly this is a game not unlike Wasteland, the Wasteland series, more recent games Wasteland 2 and 3, the original Wasteland long, long ago, except that it's set in Australia. Here we go, new game. Yes. Beware the drop bears.
My nan called it the end of time. Dad called it a waste of good beer. Me, I called it another day in bloody paradise. It's been 100 years, or less, since society had its last hurrah. We've rebuilt, sometimes better, sometimes worse, with nothing but hard yakka and the sweat off our backs. There's been bloodshed too, of course. People who will always be willing to kill for what they didn't earn. But that's not most of us. We're the farmers, the brewers, the protectors and the builders, the people who keep this great land connected, one town at a time. So you survive. You make do. You live with tough choices and you don't look back. Because the next town is 200 kilometres away, and mate, you passed the last refuge 3 days ago. There's no good or evil, no right or wrong. Only the path you choose to travel down these broken roads.
Get our obligatory title name tie-in. One life has value... Oh, game loads too quickly. Welcome to the Steam demo of Broken Roads. We're delighted to present the current state of the game, but there's still time before release. This experience and many gameplay elements will be changed in the coming months. We'd like to hear your feedback via the Discord or form on our website. Every bug you find will help us make the game better, and of course, please wish list this if you haven't already. Now quit reading this rubbish and get stuck into it. The Drop Bear Bite teams. Cheers, Thief's Day. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back, welcome back. So, backgrounds. Hired gun. You grew up with a gun in your hand. You wanted to eat, you shot what your parents told you to shoot. Starvation is a powerful motivator. That simple. They hired you when you were in your teens, telling clients that a hungry kid shoots better. After a few years, you worked up the courage to run away and you crossed the outback to make a new life for yourself. You even earned a bit of a reputation. That's why you weren't surprised when you were offered the possibility of a long-term gig with the Scouts at Bally Hall. It's a mad word out there, and instead of trying to make sense of it, you carved your place in it. You'll be damned if anyone thinks you'll just quit. You get extra awareness. Perception and insight affects range damage, accuracy, critical hit chance, dodge, and helps avoid ambushes. And strength, power and energy, affects melee damage, hit points, movement points, and intimidation checks. Good at shooting, make every shot count. For you, not them. Bonus damage, accuracy, critical hit chance, and dodge when wielding a ranged weapon. An opportunist, help yourself to a free swipe at enemies doing a runner. Chance to make an attack on enemies moving out of melee range. Unique perk, Rallying Cry. All allies gain +4 initiative until this character's next turn. While rallied, each character's first attack during their turn gets a bonus accuracy equal to triple the value of the user's charisma score. So, for one turn, your character helps everyone else shoot better. Sure. We could also be a surveyor. The wide open places call to you, they always have. You spent nights under the stars as a child, your parents teaching you about the constellations, the plants, and the animals. The first time you learnt how to use a compass, you were hooked. You took off from your home young to explore the trackless wastes. It was only a happy accident that you discovered you could make some coin by telling people what you found. You loved the thrill of discovering places that fell off the maps or finding the towns that have sprung up since the fall. It's almost as good as getting paid when you tell some new clients what you've found. The world is a treasure waiting for you. You're just the map maker to reveal its secrets. What? Barter crew. You spent your earliest years riding the back of a barter cruise wagon, travelling all across Western Australia, from Bodrington to Bonnie Rock. You've seen thousands of deals go down. You've learned to haggle with the best of them when you were knee-high to a quokka. And by the time you were a teen, you decided it might be time to go make your own money. You got a head for numbers, an eye for trade, a tongue keen for speech. Nothing makes you happier than driving a hard bargain. It's been a hell of a ride. You'll get your way, you'll hunt down every opportunity in Australia, plus charisma, resolve, leadership, and follow state. This character can throw a large variety of items in combat, including bricks, jars, stones, and other in-game items that fall into the category of junk. These can be equipped in a utility store. This character can collect these items while adventuring or automatically pick them up and equip them when found in the environment during combat. Or a jackaroo. You were a lost pup. Your parents ditched you at a remote station. When you were an infant, the manager brought you in, the station hands took to you, and you became a mascot. You grew up with tools and can fix most simple machines. You learned how to read an animal, care for its injuries, and put it to work. They taught you to hunt, giving you the skills to survive just about anywhere. You were hunting in the bush when the raiders came. First sign you had was the pillar of smoke. By the time you got back, everyone you knew was dead. You've been on the go since then, looking for a new place to settle down. You thought it might be Brookton. Maybe you should see out your days there. I like the idea of trader. Ah, but you can't play these in the demo. You gotta be gunner. Fair enough. Then gunner it is. Are we? Man? Woman? Woman? Man. Oh, this is the closest to looking like Blobber. Moral Compass. The Moral Compass shows a 360-degree view of possible dialogue options, attitudes you can hold, and decisions that you can make throughout your journey, divided into 4 parts: utilitarian, nihilist, Machiavellian, and humanist, with a golden arc representing your worldview, often overlapping with different quadrants. Where a decision lies is not always clear-cut. Borders matter. It's entirely possible to be a utilitarian focused on the greater good for all, which will suit options in that quadrant close to the humanist border. Likewise, you can be within the utilitarian quadrant, but tending far more to focus on the interests of your own group, with decisions tending towards the Machiavellian border. Broken Roads doesn't reduce things to simple right or wrong or good or evil, and this is reflected in how you handle the scenarios you face. Your worldview. The golden arc in the center represents your worldview. Each decision you make can affect your position on the compass, rotating the worldview slightly towards the decisions you make. At the center of the compass are the brightly illuminated areas of moral tendencies, which allow your character to make lower-level moral decisions or expressions of ideas that would otherwise fall outside of their worldview. Note that the further a decision is from the center of your worldview, the larger impact it will have on moving it. Plus, the more decisions you make close to the center of your worldview, the more narrow-minded you will become, allowing you to make higher-level decisions. Conversely, selecting a wider range of choices will make you broad-minded, allowing you more options but making certain higher-level decisions and moral traits, perks unique to characters of a particular alignment, unavailable. The 4 moral quadrants. Humanist, each person's dignities matter. Utilitarian, everyone's happiness combined matters the most. Machiavellian, my groups matter the most. Nihilist, I matter the most. Sure. And statistics? Oh no, close. You picked up a job to escort a captured thief. You get to talking and he tells you the sad tale of how he came to be captured. Sounds like he's not really the perp, and actually makes a pretty good case for his innocence. He begs you to free him. Humanist, let him go free. You'll argue his case and at least prevent an innocent man from enduring mob justice. Nihilist, you've been paid to do a job and you plan to see it through. Despite his appeal and potential innocence, prioritize your reputation and ensure you get paid. Utilitarian, promised to him that you'll plead his case. It doesn't serve anyone's interest to execute an innocent man, and it doesn't serve yours if he is in fact guilty. The best you can do is try to ensure justice, and your rep stays intact. Tell him to make you an offer. You won't get the other half of your pay if you go to Brookton without him. And if you help him escape, your reputation as a hired gun will take a hit. So we're supposed to either do this one, where we promise to plead his case but deliver him, or to release him, based on how it aligns with our current worldview. I'm inclined to do the job properly, but plead his case. After a series of raids on caravans passing your home, you put together a scouting party. You've caught a bandit leader and one of his raiders. The leaders plead for release, pledging to comply with your terms. Do you free him? Execute him on the spot. Better not to have this kind of headache. Which will move us slightly more towards humanist somehow? That doesn't seem whatever. Utilitarian. Take him back to town to stand trial. This isn't your call to make. Humanist. Escort them far away, warning that if you catch them again, they're dead. Or tell him that you'll let one of them go, him or his raider, and he gets to choose which one lives. Dun dun dun. No, I like the town can have their way. Nearby Townstead makes a new chief, and he's starting to flex his muscles. He sends an envoy with a threat. Pay tribute or suffer his wrath. And he has the military strength to back it up. If he thinks he can take it, let him come. We're not scared of his threats. Negotiate with an envoy and escort him back. Concealed, your top fighters follow. In town, execute the envoy, displaying his head on a spike. Warn the others to surrender or their chief or face the same fate. Send scouts to see if he can enforce his demands. If he can, pay up. If he can't, send him a mocking reply and dare him to come. Send in an envoy in return and try to negotiate. War hurts everyone, and maybe you can work this out to your mutual benefit. I'm inclined to either of these. I say, look if he can actually do it. A child in the village has started showing symptoms of the plague. The town chose to quarantine him and his family, but you caught him sneaking out of the house. Let him go with a warning. If he's contagious, you're all infected now. If he's not, there's no harm done. Rally some neighbors and evict the family from the town. Make an example of their carelessness. Send him back to his house under careful guard. The family will have to leave town if they continue to put everyone at risk. Return him to his house and explain to the family what will happen to the town. If they're infected, make them seem reason. No. They will have to leave if they don't do their job babysitting. And finally, you've been captured by people who've clearly gone mad, finding yourself in a pen along with a dew farmer you've met before. A mercenary stripped of his weapons and a terrified young family. The captors assemble a massive pile, indicating their intent for a twisted sacrifice. Noting the guard's distraction, you're certain you can escape on your own, but every person you bring with you increases the chances you'll get caught. Try to get everyone out. Fend for ourselves. Convince the merc to come with you. Get only the merc and not the Jew farmer. Or concentrate on the family. I'm inclined to have the mercenary help us because it feels like... But he's got none of his weapons. I certainly don't try and get everyone else if we're told that increases the chances we'll get caught. You know what? We'll stick by ourselves. You've discovered a cache of pre-apocalypse supplies in an abandoned farmhouse. You can't carry it all back, so enlist some friends to help. When you return, you find a group of emaciated scavengers looting it. Do you let them take it? No way. Threaten to kill them. B. Let them take the supplies, but secretly follow them to their home, loot their home, and then kill them. Wow, that is so evil. Let them go. They're starving and they need the supplies. Tell them you found the place first and offer to split the takings. Better to get less than you wanted than to spill blood or get none at all. Yes. Split evenly. Thank you. Please enjoy your playthrough. Continue. Attributes and skill trees. There are 6 attributes: strength, agility, resolve, awareness, intelligence, charisma. Attributes are the basis from which skills and other statistics are derived. Each skill tree's starting values are calculated from 2 attributes: fortitude, strength, agility, temperance, resolve and awareness, wisdom, intelligence, and charisma. Each origin story comes with a unique bonus. For hired gun, those were 1s to strength and awareness, for a minimum of 2 in each attribute. 10 to shooting mastery, 5 to opportunist. Okay. One of the unique skills in Broken Roads is the ability to have a punt, which means bet, essentially taking a risk on something uncertain. Your player character has a pool of punt points they can draw on if they need to attempt a skill check that they fall just short of, or if they want to increase the accuracy of a particular attack. During dialogue, active skill checks that fall within the range of your character's skills punt points will be displayed with a unique icon. This will allow you to spend them for a chance to succeed at a task that you would otherwise be unable to complete. Punting is derived from charisma and additional punt points you add. Each additional skill point doesn't directly equal 1 additional punt point. Skills attain different effects whenever a threshold is reached. The character has a rank 2 punt skill. Increasing their punt from 32 to 50 would place them at rank 3, and so on. Move your mouse over each skill to see more about it. Sure. So I've got 10 stat points to spend. Split them evenly with a with a 2-handed axe. Health points. Shooting goodness. Range damage. I think splitting these fairly evenly makes sense. Maybe a little more to health. A little more to range damage. A little more to actions. Strength. Shootiness. Barbican. Shrug off damage like a brick shithouse. Defend yourself and allies and absorb a portion of damage dealt to them. Get a bonus to armor when ending your turn next to an ally. Skill level effects. Increase armor gained when using Barbican. Deadeye. Take the time to line up your shot. Make an attack with bonus to accuracy. Gain a bonus to range attacks when starting your... Yeah, I like this, but it doesn't level up until 25. Oh, you can spend extra action points to be more accurate. Yeah, I like that. Biology. You know what makes people tick in the physical sense. Use restorative items to heal and revive allies. Sure. Leadership. Mark enemies for... Yep, mark enemies. Drunken Master. Decreases the effect of hangovers. Drink eligible item from a utility slot. No. No. Not available in the demo. Punt. Shooting. Throwing. Vigilance. Tinker. I think we'll... They made much of this punt system, so we'll spend a bit on the punt points. And I kind of like the idea of pushing that up to 25, so that we unlock the first of them. Yeah, and we'll spend that up to 25 as well. So I got 1, 2, 3. I only need actually 1 less of those, but I can't make that lower. What about pushing that to 50? Ranged attacks gain critical hit chance. Leader? I reckon some leader. Done. One's life has value so long as one... Ooh.
You made it. Good. My name's Jake Anderson, and this is Bally Hall.
The sandy-haired man's face is sun-beaten and craggy, a testament to a life lived in the bush. Truth to tell, wasn't sure you'd make it between the wildlife and the attacks we've seen. Thought you might have met with some misadventure. He swipes his...
So the job's simple, and the pay's good. You'll ride along to Kokobee with a couple of my scouts as security for Cole, the engineer fixing our radio. In Kokobee, you'll be meeting Mick, the mayor of Brookton, and escorting them both back home.
It's an easy job, not expecting much trouble. Better safe than sorry, yeah? Let me introduce you round. Ella, over here, is my second. He pauses. My cousin too. Her and her sister Mad, who are keeping watch from the crow's nest. Don't get on their bad sides.
New blood, eh, Jake?
The rangy woman's face is careworn and sunbeaten. She looks you up and down and raises an eyebrow. Hired gun for the trip to Kokeby. Figured it couldn't hurt, the situation being what it is. Hey, gonna be with you, so maybe you can give the tour. That'd be good, cheers. I don't need a minder. Pleasure to meet you. Nah, like one. She looks at you almost as if she pities you. I'm sure your sparkling personality will shine through on your winner. This place's heart in no time, Ella. That's me, noted heartbreaker and charmer. She's so deadpan, she almost seems serious. You fancy seeing the place? Meet the colourful locals? Ready whenever you are. So you've already met Boss, that leaves Jonesy, Dreamer, and Mad. May as well go say hi to Cole, seeing as you'll be
Let's go.
You'll be escorting him. Move your character around the map. Left click on an area. White circles appear on the ground, showing where you're walking towards. Left click is also used to speak to characters, interact with objects. The mouse icon will change to indicate this. To pan the camera, either push the mouse against the edge of the screen, use WSAD, or hold down the middle mouse button and drag. Introduction to important tabs at the bottom of your screen are 5 icons. From left to right, they are Party Management, Moral Compass, Journal Map, and Menu. Sure. So, we were meant to go talk to Mad. Ella calls out, "Oi, Cole!" The gangly... Who's this then? The gangly young man hurriedly wipes his hands on his coveralls when he sees you. His carrot orange hair flops over his eyes and he gives you a broad grin.
Cole, meet your new protector. We need extra muscle for our trip to Brookton, given Jake and Jones here headed down Alderside way to see why they're so quiet. Hired this one on to keep an eye on you.
Bloody fantastic. I'm about done with the repeater array here. Should be powering up with the solar panels in no time. Get your scouts back up and on the network in a jiffy. It'll all get sorted once I can hit the market in Kokeby and... Steady there, Christmas. I was just making an introduction, one thing at a time. You raise Alderside yet? Oh, crikey, not yet. That's why I mentioned Kokeby. See, your modulator's shot and I don't have a spare. So it's a good thing we're headed up there. Once I get the modulator, everything else will be golden. And you'll be right as rain. The scouts don't have a working radio then? Till we get this modulator sorted, we might as well learn how to use passenger pigeons or reflecting mirrors. You know, mirrors are great in the daytime. Well, sunny daytime. But kind of worthless at night and cloudy days. So yeah, we need to get to Kokeby for new parts. When do you want to head out? Well, he looks at all his tools. I reckon whenever you're ready to go. Can clear up real fast. Meantime, I'm working on the projects around here. Got nothing pressing back in Brookton, I don't think.
We'll
Goodbye.
have plenty of time to chat on the way to Kokeby.
Okay, where are the other people? That looks like out rather than in. But maybe I'm crazy. Are we meant to go in the door? No. Ooh, camels. And they make camel noises. Does the chicken make chicken noises? No. Well, here's someone.
Name's Jonesy, mate. Who are you?
The tanned, hooded man is busy cleaning a gun as you approach. He looks you up and down quickly, professionally, and then is back to his weapon. Jake hired him to give us a hand on the way to Kokeby. He's pretty new to the life. Got tips? New gun for the good guys, eh? Glad to hear it. You ever use your weapon on a person before? Lie. Yes, loads of times. I'm hoping I don't have to. I mean, our background is a shooter, so I'm going with yes. That's why, then why does Ella think I can teach anything to a hardened killer like you? But hell, maybe this will be helpful.
So my advice is this. Time comes to throw down. Don't blink.
None of the
The
Deros.
Darrow's out in the bushwood. It's them or you. I made the mistake of trying to be kind once.
Oof. He pulls down the top of his shirt and shows you a nasty scar running across his chest. And that's how I got repaid. When they've sunk that low, the only help for them is a heaping of lead. What if we organized supply drops so they weren't so desperate? It's about as good a cure for anyone. I'm not giving away our stuff. Yeah, I'll say maybe. I like your idealism, but let me tell you from years of hard experience, it's gonna get you killed. Believe me, out here, act fast or die slow. I hate to ruin this heady discussion, but we're supposed to keep squiring our friend around here. You and Jake are headed back to Brookton after Alderside. Yep, we've got to swing by and see my old man. Got to update him on the kill count. Kill count? Building a fearsome reputation, huh? Kill count. Sure, if that's your thing. I don't really keep track. Gotta break eggs to make that New World cake. Exactly! He lets out a brief but genuine laugh.
It's not just about the killing, mind you. Though just between you and me, fuck the raiders, rustlers, and other assholes shitting up the place. Let them piss in their boots when they hear my name.
Don't let him fool you. Under that bloodthirsty exterior lurks, well, the heart of a killer. But under that, not a bad guy.
What if he's on your side?
Well, unless you're a farmer. Then you should lock up your wife and daughters, livestock too.
Ah, you know me so well, Ellie.
No one
Except
can
the
prove
livestock.
that.
No one can prove that.
He turns to you and points his thumb over his shoulder. Watch out for her. She's secretly not always mean. Pfft. Bullshit. I'm made of mean. Anyway, like I say, gotta keep moving if you've got anything to talk to Jonesy about. What's your story? Merchant parents murdered by raiders when I was young. Mick took me in and raised me. Joined the Scouts. I like what they do. Been here for a decade. They're like my adopted family. Like getting an annoying kid brother. Exactly. Yeah, that'll do. Oh, here's another person we're supposed to talk to, presumably. Dreamer, give the fresh meat a wave, will ya?
Fresh meat? For dinner? You know I gave up human flesh, Ella. Oh, I missed you. They call me Dreamer.
You, What do you do here, comic relief? Bit of a prick, aren't you? No wuzzers, though. I've seen worse than you on the regular. She pastes her smile back on. A grouchy face doesn't faze me nearly so much as Darrow's running at me with knives made of pig bones and scrap metal.
Anyway, my job here, such as it is, consists of two main gigs. What I do best is convince people to save their bullets. I defuse fights, make sure people get along, keep their blood inside their skins. The other job? Cleaning up this mess.
You make it sound like you're a negotiator.
Exactly right. If we're looking to get civilization rolling again, we can't just settle our problems by making more corpses.
Not, mind you, that some people don't deserve to be slapped around. She tries and mostly fails to put on a fierce face, and I'll be right there to hand some slaps out. Is there anything I can help with? That's kind of you to ask. I could use a hand with some things. Jake wanted you to take some time in at the firing range. Make sure you're good as you say you are.
Last fella was a bit of a legend in his own lunchbox. Now he's dead. Better to know up front if someone's aim is a bit shit. Corpses aren't so great at self-improvement.
Clear the scrub from the camel paddock. Oh, I missed the others. I've got some other questions for you. How did you wind up here? That's a story on its own. Are you sure you want to hear it? Let's have it. You asked for it. All right. Picture a young Mishti growing up behind the walls of Meriden. Now picture young Mishti, already a dreamer, learning the world existed in all its boundless wonder outside those walls. Now, she wasn't a bad kid, but she wanted more out of life than the city could give her, so she took every opportunity she could find to learn about the world. At age 8, she decided it was time to see it on her own. The guards brought her back home and told her parents they caught her trying to sneak out. They punished her, of course. The world's a dangerous place for city folk. But they couldn't stop her, and by the time she was 15, they'd given up trying. Instead, they started looking for a way to make sure she'd be safe. No mercenary work with hunters and collectors, not for their precious girl, but where to turn? Listen, turns out my mum had some friends out York way, and she sent them a message. Did they know anyone who could teach a wild child real bushcraft? She drinks from her water. Jake came out to meet me himself. Parents had already made inquiries, as they do, verified his credentials. He came by every couple of months after that to check up on me, see how my studies were going. A few months ago, after I turned 18, he asked my parents if he could take me on full-time as his apprentice. I was already out the door by the time he finished his sentence. Had my share of scrapes with danger. Wouldn't have it any other way. That'll do.
If you could finish that work quickly, it'd be fantastic.
So how do I see the journal? Okay, we've got to meet Mad, and then we maybe have to... How do I see the other things? Clear the scrub around the camel paddock. Try target practice with Jonesy. Refill the water in the bathtub. Is that guy mad? And if so, how do we get up there? Look up there in the crow's nest, that's my sister Mad. She'll be staying behind when the rest of us range out on our
Mad.
jobs later.
New hired gun. Going to be coming with Mishti and me to Kokobee.
The woman in the watchtower wears drab brown clothes, loose and comfortable. Her face is hard, her build muscular. She looks like she wrestles roos for fun. She scowls down from the makeshift turret. Your baby sitting Ella, or is she sitting you? I'll follow her lead. So she's sitting you then. Snorts up an impressive wad of phlegm and spits it an equally impressive distance. Don't wander into danger. I'd hate to know she was risking her neck for you. Like I'm the one who needs a sitter, Mad. Wasn't that long ago I was changing your nappies. Ready to move on and meet the others? Fuck you, Ella, she says without rancor. Hey, before you go, new kid, I need you to make sure the perimeter's secure before you head out. We don't want any surprises. What do you need? Not going to run your mouth then? We'll get along. She chews her lip for a moment, studying the fence and points. I want you to walk the circle outside, check it for holes. If a dingo can fit through, call it out and we'll patch it up. No need for you to get your precious hands dirty. We just need your eyes. Walk the fence? Too easy. Hard to fuck up, isn't it? So don't. Go on, get moving.
That's all we're gonna get out of her. Come on, let's go.
Okay, can we go clean up the shrubbery in the camel paddock?
This scrub looked like it's invading the camel's enclosure and they're having trouble resting without getting pricked. It wouldn't take you long to clear. The job only takes a few minutes and the paddock is cleared. The scouts will no doubt be happy with your handiwork.
Alright. And where was the bathtub that we were meant to fill up? This thing? For the camels to drink out of?
There's only a small amount of grimy water left in the... You quickly fill the tub, providing clean drinking water for
Noble
the
beasts.
noble beast. You're already a real...
Camels are horrible animals.
What a hoot.
What else were we meant to do? Target practice. Mishti said something about target practice. Sure. Let's get on it and you can show me what you've got. Get stuck into it. Optimal range. Different weapons work more effectively depending on the distance from the target. Pistols and shotguns work well up close. Rifles from a medium distance. Sniper rifles from even further. Experiment with different weapons at varying distances to work out the optimum range. Your shooting mastery and deadeye skills also improve damage and accuracy. So I meant to... Oh wow, it's like a continuous... I'm used to these things being grids. Okay. When using a melee weapon from a distance, if the target is reachable, your character will approach them. Certain weapons cannot be fired at point-blank range, forcing an enemy to move away, incurring a possible opportunity attack. Stab him! Miss. Stab him. Not enough action points. Sucks. Stab him. Gun. This thing. Not enough action points. Sure. How do I tell how many action points I have? Here, 4. This costs 3. Yes, and then I have 1. Sure. Shoot. Reload. And... shoot. Reload and... shoot. Boo. Reload and... shoot. Really? Reload and... shoot. Not bad, good to have you on board. Hey Ella, you might not be the resident sharpshooter for much longer. It looks like you have separate movement and... oh, you think the blue ones were walking? Continue. She says nothing but gives Jonesy the most tired of your shit stare you've ever seen. She's such a charmer. Okay, now we're meant to walk the perimeter. I don't know if that means outside. So we'll go pixel scrubbing some of the outside. Hold up. She stops and motions to the section of fence nearby. A small pile of dirt is next to a shallow hole. What do you reckon this is? It looks like someone's been trying to dig their way in. Raiders, maybe? Raiders? Mate, nobody comes looking for shit here. These are fucking dingoes trying to make their way in. Bastards becoming non-stop since Mishti let her chooks roam about. She lets out another short laugh. We'll be sure to let you know if any raiders come by, though. She nods her head towards the crow's nest. She'll have to get that filled in today. Keep doing the rounds. You notice a piece of corrugated iron coming loose. Oh wait, look at that. I found something. Looks like a loose spot. Nice find. A new bolt or two is all she needs. This thing's been patched up, hasn't been patched up since, well, before. I reckon. Might be there's not even a single piece of the original wall still here. Wall remains, though. Let's keep moving. Hey, there's something here. She stops to inspect a small hole in the fence. Bloody thing's fallen apart. Mad will need to patch this one properly. She shouts over the fence. Oi, Mishti, you hear me? Tell Mad she's got a proper patch-up job to do out here, would ya? Oh, she's gonna love that. What do you reckon? Well, I reckon that's enough to keep Mad off her ass while we're away. Nice work. Oi, Mad, found 3 jobs for you. Should keep you from falling asleep while we're gone. She snarls something unintelligible and turns away. Your eyes work and you follow instructions. Good so far. Let's head back and check in with the others. Cole's gonna be done by now. Just keep walking around this way. And it's time to talk to Cole, is it? No, report back to Dreamer. Gotta earn all my side quest experience. She smiles at you as you approach. Hey, how's the work treating you? How about those jobs? What's up? I finished it all.
That's bloody fantastic! Great work, mate. I definitely owe you one. Remind me at the pub later on, would you? Here you go.
One small
You've saved
bottle of
me
water.
A ton of trouble.
And we gained
Anything else
experience. That's all for
Later.
now. Later, Gator. Okay, all done. We're ready to proceed.
Heard you having your chin wags with everyone. How you finding Ella? She's rough around the edges, but then we all are. It's why I like to have her squire people around. Anyway, what'd you think of the place?
Good sight lines. You can see enemies coming. Bit of a shithole. Place is held up. Did you decorate it yourself? He laughs. Bits and pieces, odds and ends. We're patching it up where we can, and it's always good practice to keep supplies around.
Anyway, if you're done with that, time to get Cole up to Kokobi. Like I said before, it should be safe and easy. Once you get there, meet up with Mick. He can be a real charmer, or he can be a right bastard. He's a hard man, so it's best not to bullshit him. He's Jonesy's adopted dad, if that gives you any idea what he's like.
You'll be going with him back to Brookton. Jonesy will meet you there once you've finished up in Alderside. Anything else you need from Bally before we go? I think we're good to go. Best of luck. Grab your gear, we're rolling out. She shouts the other two, Cole, Dreamer, let's get on the road, you know the drill. Stay safe, don't be stupid. No wuzzers, Jake. None of the stupid leaked into my side of the family tree, we're all set.
I would be deeply offended if I was smart enough to understand that, I'm sure. But look, keep your skin in one piece, yeah? And this goes double for you, Mishti. If you're outside the gate, don't let your guard down.
It's doing a good job of doing the giving your mates shit part. You too, new kid. If all else fails, listen to Ella, she'll steer you right. Got it, Chief. See you later.
You're not even an hour away from Bally Hall when you spot a makeshift cart on the road. A man lies motionless on the ground. A sobbing woman cradles his body.
What do you think we should do, negotiator?
Mum's having the worst day of her life. And the kid's not too crash hot either. Let's hear their stories and try to stop anything worse from happening.
The young man, sitting off the side of the road, is rocking back and forth, a pistol held unheeded in one hand. Neither he or his mum appear to have noticed you, lost in their own personal tragedy.
Things could get dicey. Hang back while we check this out.
You got it, boss.
Okay, our techie hides. What if we talk to you?
Stay back. I've got a gun.
He points his pistol loosely in your direction, a mop of dusty brown hair hanging down into his eyes. He shakes his head to clear his vision. He can't be more than 18. What type? So have I. Why don't you put it down and we'll talk? You don't understand. His arm seems to lower of their own free will. I just killed someone. He raises his arms and they're shaking. I could kill you too. Who was the man? Did he attack? No, you've got it wrong. He points his gun at you with renewed ferocity. I don't want to talk about it. Mishti takes a step forward. Let's just have a chat, alright? She's the negotiator. She can take the lead. We've all done things we regret. One split-second decision and it seems like it's all over, but it's not. You're still here and that means we have a chance to make it right. You don't know what happened, what I did. He gestures with the pistol. Her expression doesn't change, but she widens her stance. I've killed him, my own dad, all because he... She takes a step closer, ignoring the pistol. It's okay. What's your name? Put the gun down or I'll shoot. And I'm not evil enough to just be allowed to kill him. Or to kill him. Well, she's the negotiator.
I'm Will.
He's struggling. It's just that clearly took a lot. Oh, and just that clearly took a lot. You're responsible for what your dad... You aren't responsible for what your dad did, Will.
No, it wasn't like that. He asked me to. He said he was holding me and Mum back, that we'd never make it to Meriden at this rate, so he asked me to. Make sure she makes it, and
Oh.
I shouldn't even be alive.
Shoot him in the leg! But no. She won't make it if you're dead. You know that, Will. His hands tremble, then his arms. He drops the pistol, slumping to the ground, his head in his hands. Ella picks up the pistol, checks the cartridge, and tucks it into her belt. He'd be safer without that around for now. We done here? I want to know what happened. We get moving.
Cool. You ready? Let's go.
Well, we don't get to find out the mum's side of the story.
You did good back there. It's nice to meet someone else who's willing to believe that a bullet to the head won't solve all the world's problems.
Maybe they'll be in a position to repay our favor later. Everyone knows you can't argue with maths. She grins at you, then removes her hand. Let's keep going.
Welcome to Kokobee Way Station. Now we've got Cole here. All we need to do is wait for Mick to arrive, then escort the two of them back to Brookton. He should be arriving any minute now. Any minute now?
I'm going to go check the radio tower and catch up with Dustin. He's usually got modulators up the wazoo. I'll be down there if you need me.
There he goes. Never a dull moment with Cole around.
She doesn't quite smile, but her face takes on a slightly softer edge. I'll introduce you to Tina. She runs the place. Good person to know
Oi,
if you're looking to
Johnny.
work. Does she come over to us, or do we have to... It looks like we have to walk to her. Who
G'day.
this?
Name's Damo.
A young man stands up straight, bouncing his foot restlessly as you approach. He has a smear of grease under one eye and a dusty mop of unattended hair held at bay by a weather-beaten cap. G'day. Name's Damo.
Everyone needs fuel. Black gold's rarer than actual gold these days. I got petrol, diesel, whatever you need.
Ooh.
Best prices this side of Meriden, or I'll eat my hat.
The old man sitting next to him groans, head lolling on his shoulders, covered in a fine black dust like he's been rolling around after a bushfire. A thin sheen of sweat glistens his cheeks, but his lips are as dry as the desert air. Damo looks at him in concern. Steady on now, old fella, he speaks with forced joviality, but there's a tenderness in his face that his worry can't quite conceal. What's on your mind? He blows air out from between his pursed lips. Yeah, look, my mate here's sick, and I'm kind of at the end of my rope. We got into a bit of trouble at the refinery, and Sid ended up copping the worst of it. He said everything was fair dinkum, but now his hair's fallen out, and he hasn't eaten in 3 days. You know, all he probably needs is some iodine. I've got a doctor friend around Brookton, should help him, especially if I told her I sent you. I'm sure Jess would let us take him in the camel cart. What do you reckon, Ella? I reckon you've got a soft spot for sad cases. See? Sorted. What's in it for us? He frowns at you, but doesn't seem surprised. Not one for charity, huh? Look, I'm sorry old mate is crook, but we've all got our problems. No, I'm not doing it for free. Sorry. Okay, fine. Look, I'll give you 1 canister of fuel. You can use it, hand it to your mates, sell it yourself, whatever. Just get Sid to the clinic. Deal.
Really? I mean, thanks. Yes, please.
He springs forward and shakes your hand so hard it makes your elbow hurt. Sid looks up at you, lips cracked and face pale. Sweating and shivering, he has difficulty focusing his gaze. I'd shake your hand, but I've had the runs for the past 6 days. You don't want to know what I've been using for toilet paper. Pleasure's mine. I doubt it. A violent tremor shakes him from head to
Settle
toe.
back and rest, old fella. When Jess arrives, we'll get you set up nice and comfy for the ride to town.
He tries to speak, but the trembling of his lips defeats him.
I
He
told
just
you there were
nods.
good people out here.
Yes, good people who only extort a single canister of fuel from you.
Welcome to Kokomi, stranger.
Oh my gosh, she looks like a train conductor. An effervescent teenager in outdated conductor's uniform salutes you neatly as you approach. A polished silver whistle swings on a chain near her hip. G'day. Tina, g'day. We're just here to pick up some parts for the radio. We're headed to Brookton with Mick and Cole. Thought we'd say hi while we're here. She gestures vaguely at you. This here's a hired gun. Jake reckons we could use the extra hand. There, now you're introduced. Ella, Mishti, always a pleasure. She smiles, the dimples on her cheeks making her look even younger. Mick's not here yet, but you're just in time. I've got a bit of a problem, and I'm hoping you'll help me clear it. What's with the outfit? Sorry, I couldn't hear you over the sound of how awesome I look. She swings the chain of her whistle around her finger, making a faint wah 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 noise. Her customary smile takes the sting out of her words. I found it while I was cleaning out those trains for people to stay in. It was tucked away under a console in a cabin like it was waiting for me. She pulls her arm out and does a spin to let you appreciate the uniform from every angle. Noah thought it suited me. Tell me more about your problem.
We hired a mercenary, Ian Mason, to help protect the town.
Ever since we hired him, he's been driving away business with that attitude of his. Problem is, he won't get lost. Claims we have a contract. She gives him the finger and keeps it up as he lazily extends his arm to do the same.
I want you to convince him to move on. Go terrorize someone else. And to stop being such a fucking crybaby.
Her shout carries clearly in the shimmering air.
Wah, wah. I'm a little girl and my big brother's not here. Wah.
He holds his fists in front of his eyes in mock imitation of a
Go
crying
sit on a
child.
rusty spike and rotate, you old filthy bastard.
She picks up a rock, pegging it at him. He dodges easily and laughs.
I want him gone, thanks.
Who's Noah? My brother, 4 years older than me, more like my dad. Where is Noah? Dunno, signed up with the barter crew, haven't seen him since, said something about sowing his wild oats. I really hope he doesn't become a farmer, though. She fiddles with the whistle at her hip. He's beyond terrible with plants. Why do you care? I got everything you need. She gestures at her stall. Want to trade? Your brother left you here alone? I've been running Kokeby just fine without his help, thank you very much. He can stay gone for all I care. Got any news? Nothing you haven't cottoned on to already. Quite the social butterfly, aren't you? I'll go take care of the guy.
Problem-solving capacities.
Okay, guy, what's the deal? The nasally voice is annoying. Be thankful we're in Western Australia and not Queensland, Skywarper. Just be thankful we're not in Queensland. Welcome to Kokeby. Her smile is genuine if hesitant. Though maybe you come here all the time. Sorry, I've been out of the trading game for a while. Well, your voice is going to be more nasally then, Skywarper. Need any water? Let me see what you've got. Not really. What's your story? I'm Frida. Got a decent source of sweet-tasting water, and I'm looking for a long-term mutual exchange. She appraises you with a practiced eye. Forgive me, but you don't seem like the settled-down type. If you come across someone looking for a steady supply and can buy in bulk, tell them to look me up, though. What can you tell me about this place? It's loads bigger than it used to be, she laughed abruptly, startling herself. Not much to do, but it's a handy crossroads for hawking your wares at hapless passers-bys. And what are you doing here? Selling water, at least I hope to. Do you want to buy some? No thanks. What about this guy?
Friend, welcome to Kokeby and the energy source of the future. See anything you like?
He gestures at the solar panels. His clip-on fan bobbing dangerously with the movement. I like you? What have you got for sale? And this is trying to teach us how to barter, so he's got gun, bandage. Maybe. Small first aid kit. We have battery, scrap, screwdriver, solar panel. 2,000 ducati. Oh no, that's him. We have gun, knife, toolbox, scrap. Okay, so I'm used to these being the other way around, but it doesn't really matter. And we have cash. I mean, we probably should grab the scrap. Oh, it's only a barter system. Maybe? Well, don't understand and can't be bothered. What makes the solar panel so special? Mate, he holds up a hand, drawing the moment out far past anyone's comfort level. I can tell you're new to the energy game. He leans in close. These guys don't give us a rat's ass about keeping me informed. But me, I know my worth. When it comes to energy, you've got three choices. Dig up some black stuff, set it on fire. Use that big old fire orb up in the sky, or run water through some turbines or some shit. I don't know about you, but I don't see a whole lot of water nearby, and I hate getting dirt under my fingernails. What's special about solar? It's the gentleman's energy source. He gives you a painfully awkward wink. And civilization, my friend, that's the way of the future. He runs out of steam and gives you a charming smile. What do you say? You want to invest in a better, brighter you? Any chance of a discount? A disc! His voice squeaks and he coughs. Mate, you gotta be pulling my leg. You have any idea how hard it is to clean these bastards up, haul them halfway across the country, and keep all the sand and shit from getting in them? A discount? I'd sooner get caught with my pants around my ankles when the dunny wall falls down. A discount. Come on, Jerry. Jezza, J-Money, I really want that discount. You've been in the sun too long. It's Gerald with a G. G-Money's got a nice ring to it, though.
A A discount? Thanks for the laugh, mate. I needed that.
Oh, there's a root. Fresh meat. And who the hell is this guy's scary? You, we're meant to get rid of you.
I'm busy.
He has the stance of someone who's seen other people with military training but never been through it himself. Reeks of sweat, his camo is obviously the wrong color for this surrounding terrain.
What do you want, kid? Looking for a real man to show you how to use a gun?
In your dreams, mate. What's your deal? He spares you an amused glance. My deal is that I'm the only thing standing between these bogans and a slow death in the sun. There'd be no Kokeby if I wasn't protecting the place. Everyone would be too scared to set up shop. Like you and whoever else crawled out from under the rock to limp here. I'm actually pretty sure protecting the people and places around here is what we do. Have you ever thought about joining up? Your ramshackle outfit, I'd rather kiss my own face with a tire iron. Don't. He's just trying to get you riled up. You need a hand. With what? The camel dung or the flies? He waves his hand in an Aussie salute. Go pick up all the shit you like. I won't stop ya. Please move on. I don't give a fuck what Tina wants. She hired me, and I've kept my end of the bargain. Protecting Kokeby. It's going to take more than you two and your little nursemaids to change my mind. I can't make you leave, but you're wasting your talents here, don't you think? There are all kinds of places you'd be appreciated and paid more. He narrows his eyes, crossing his arms. You can tell he's getting ready to bring out the big guns. I have a contract. A merc's word is his worth. I go back on it, and I never work again. You'll never get work again if you're dead either. You're never going to get to work again either. Or bribe. How much will it cost to make you disappear? Look, only way I'm leaving is if you pay out my contract. $50 or that gun of yours, what'll it be? Leave now, I won't tell the scouts and everyone we can get on the radio that you're an incompetent asshole. You've made your
I was
point.
getting bored of this shithole anyway. Good luck protecting the place without me.
Good riddance, Drongo. Now, you reckon Skywarper in chat was saying maybe we should drag it to the
Hey,
middle.
look, it's Mr. Dick.
What do you got for sale? Okay, so this is how you do it. Fair enough. Goodbye, $5. Hello, extra scrap.
Come back soon.
Okay, and now we talk to you and get our reward from getting rid of the stupid guy.
G'day! What can I do for you?
Took care of your guy. Saw it, gotta admit I was hoping for a little more wham, pow, bam, but guess I'm glad you didn't have to beat him up. We could still, she wags her finger at Mishti. You're a cheeky one, aren't you? She lets out a sigh, but the tension drains from her body. Finally, I feel this place is on the up and up. Thanks again, friend. She holds out her hand to shake it. Give her a low five? She laughs
No,
and
thanks.
returns it.
That means we're mates now. For real.
Are you in charge here? Yup. She pulls out the shining silver pocket watch and holds it up. Mount Kokeby is engraved in the front in fine handwriting around an embossed steam engine. Station Master's timepiece. She slips it back in the fob pocket of her pants and gives it a little pat. Anyone gives you grief, come to me. I don't know what time it is, though. Spring's been busted for years. You know when Mick's going to arrive. New to this area, aren't you? Mick's a force of nature, like a cyclone or a dust storm. When he's here, you'll know. Oh, you'll know all right. Don't forget, he's the one paying us. Come on, what's life without a little bit of fun at your employer's expense? Actually, don't answer that, I don't want to know. Goodbye? Would you look at that, right on time, if by that you mean he's late by half a day. She waves at a sun-baked woman and overdressed man walking over from where they've hitched their camels.
Hello there, Tina. Lovely as the day is long, as always.
We would have been here sooner, but Well, let's just say it's been an eventful day.
She looks frazzled. It certainly has. Had some excitement in the morning, had to deal with some diplomacy after that. Not a bad day's work if I say so myself. I suppose introductions are in order. I'm Mick Jones and this is Jess Brown. Runs Brookton's barter crew when I'm needed elsewhere. He studies you. You're the new face? Into forging alliances, or do you prefer to rough it alone? We're utilitarian. You've got to stick together if you want to get anything done. A group has more bargaining power than one person. Yeah, okay, just don't go on strike on my watch. She gives him a long-suffering look and sighs. On that note, I'll go check on Frida. Pleasure to meet you. This the quality of recruits you're accepting these days? Ella gives him a one-shouldered shrug. He frowns. Though, speaking of new recruits, he adjusts his coat and nods to Mishti. Young lady, you're looking well. Me, I'm off for a quick squiz at the goods. Got to keep my hand in. Let me know when you're ready to head to Brookton. Take care. We took care of Tina's pest problem, so we're free as scouts. Free? What do I pay you all good money for, then? He grins, and she shakes her head and sighs. He gives you a jaunty salute. See you shortly. Dreamer smiles and waves at his departing back, then speaks in a low voice. Must be our lucky day. We got old Charmer Mick. On bad days, it's the old bastard. She puts her hand down when it's clear he's not going to look back.
Let's finish up and get on the road.
So, talk to him again? Could we give a sick scabby a lift to Brockton on the back of your cart? Sid's that bad, huh? Yeah, I'll shift some things around. Get him over to the cart and I'll handle the rest. Have a good one. Do I have to talk to him again now? Ready when you are. Good to go. At Sid's nod, Damo helps himself to his feet, throwing Sid's arm across his shoulders. Damo all but drags him to the camels. Get him settled, turns to you. I'll catch you up at Brookton. Thanks again. You've no idea how much this means to me. He takes one more look at Sid, pinches the bridge of his nose, and then walks back to his stall.
Good luck out there.
Now do we talk to you again? We're all done here, ready to head back. Or head on, sorry. Need to make sure we're squared up with Tina before we roll out. Oi, you no good swindler. We're gonna get moving. Any last Duvalakis you want to force into my pocket before we call it quits? She cocks her hand on her hips and stares at him. Dunno, mate. Been a long day. Not sure I have the energy to haggle with a stubborn old mule. He feigns outrage. Why, you cheeky ankle biter, I order. He starts chuckling. Right then, let's get on the road. See you in a bit, eh? Come on, the sooner we're back to town, the sooner you can buy me a beer. Well now, he cracks his neck, then gives himself a little shake. It's getting late, but we're here. You should have a look around town, introduce yourself to the locals. Never hurts to know who you're dealing with, especially if you plan on heading out this way often. Thanks, I will. Any pointers on who I should meet? Depends on what you're after. With the local... We got local and blow-in merchants right here, but they'll be gone by dark if you want to barter. Sarah down at the clinic, if you need any doctoring, and of course Sally at the Broken Arms if you're ready for a beer. Of course, you could found all this out for yourself by taking a quick tour like I suggested. I'm good, thanks. You're good, are you? This how you're training up your new scouts, eh? No. Come on, I'll show you around. So where's Sarah? You don't look like a Sarah. That doesn't look like a Sarah. That doesn't look like a Sarah. There's a pub, maybe. There are definitely people here. How do you leave? How do we leave? Special beer. Merlot. Peace and love. Hope for the future. Sold out. Oof. Aim here, you bloody drongo. Bullseye means free booze.
What can I get ya? First drink's free, if you promise to buy 3 more.
They are using drongo a lot. What can I tell you? First drink's free if you promise to buy 3 more. Of course, I'm not officially open yet, but the office stands for when I am. Anything I can do for you in the meantime? Anything interesting going on? Let's see. Vic and Eastie's got in another fight. He didn't break his jaw this time, but Sarah gave him a good chewing out. Go on. Raj got Vicky's knickers in a knot over some loan he owed her. So she sheared his sheep in the middle of the night and left him standing buck naked in the run. Poor bastard. Got a case of sunburn. What else? Esty and Rowan got back together, and word is she's up the duff. She'll have to go... This means she's pregnant. She'll have to go to Meriden for the birth, though. Sarah's bedside manner is pretty bad. Told her last time if she had any more sprogs, she'd tie her tubes while she was unconscious. More! I need more! Easy, Tiger! That's about it, I reckon. She scratches the side of her nose. Not a lot going on around here, as you can see. Okay.
See ya.
How do we leave? In all seriousness, how do we leave? Staff only? More like Sally only. I don't understand how we leave. How do we leave? Map? Map is not our solution. How do we leave? It's like the Hotel California. A faded article about the Don, including his batting average. Old Don Bradman. It would probably be really impressive if anyone knew the rules of cricket anymore. 98.96 ain't so bad. Is it 0.96? I forget now. What was Don Bradman's average? No, 99.9. 4! So close! But I'm misremembering my important Australian law. I don't know how we leave, and this is perplexing me. Oh wow. Use the native calendar. So some of the Australian native calendars are really interesting. Depending on which grouping you're talking about, some of them use three seasons for a year instead of the traditional 4 that you have in Western culture of spring, summer, autumn, winter. Some of them have 3. They have a sprummer, a winter, and a spring. And some of them have 5, with like an added monsoony season. And something else. And I think it's interesting, the other systems for delineating the seasons. Oh, you just walk near enough the door and it maybe does it. Okay. I was expecting an interactable area on the door. Chicken, 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 chicken. Tomato farm. Alana, new in town, she puts down her hoe and pulls off her heavy gardening gloves, wiping her hands on her pants before shaking yours. Pleasure to see a new face. Hope you might stay a while. Stay a while and listen. Who are you? I'm Alla, Jess's mum. She uses the back of her hand to brush a sweaty strand of hair away from her face. What do you do here? I'm a gardener, chicken wrangler, occasionally the butcher, anything to do with food that's not actually cooking it, and I'm your lady. On the other hand, I make a mean lamington. Oh, I want a lamington now. Oh, a lamington is like a cake, a soft cake, soft spongy sort of cake, with chocolate-coated exterior that's then got diced up coconut rolled on the outside. Gardener, chicken wrangler... Oh yeah, we already did this. Nope, that's all. We know what a lamington is. Friends and allies, lend me your ears of corn. The trailer that mixed crew use on their barter runs to Kokeby. Okay, there doesn't seem to be anything else over here. What about out this way? We're also reaching the edge of the universe. Who dat? Dane. Hello. He keeps watching the horizon, glancing down to check if you're still there. Who the hell are you? Name's Dane. I watch the flocks by night. Real biblical. What are you doing? I'm watching the flocks. Thought I told ya. If they had me here this morning, he looks over the edge of the tower. Those raiders would never have gotten a single sheep. I told Sarah I'm fine to sleep up here, but she said she couldn't have it, that a bed's the only proper place to rest. Well, you tell me, how many raiders do you think would have gotten away if I'd been on watch? 0. Damn straight. He looks over the side at you again and cracks a smile. You're all right, kid. You're all right.
Right. That's enough socializing for one day.
You Cadbury.
It's good to know your limits. Let's head back to Bally. Sun's about to set. I was hoping we could hit the pub, check in on Jake and Jonesy.
Mick will want to grill the new kid on how the day went down. Let's handle that part first, yeah?
Okay, so it wants us to talk to our boss. I wanted to find the doctor. Good to see you again. What do you do with the camels when you're not traveling? Bob and Dawn hang out at Taylor's farm with the other camels and sheep. I think they like the company. You? Sean, hey, his voice is deep and pleasant. If you're here to help out, we're glad to have you. Who the hell are you? Sean Taylor, Taylor's farm. Pleased to meet you. Got any news? Not unless you're interested in the gossip of sheep and pigs. Do you need anything? Nah, nothing a good night of sleep won't fix. Goodbye. Where is the doctor? We were promised a doctor. Ooh. Go dumpster diving? I mean, we don't seem to have any sort of weight limit, so... Sure. Hey, Osalar. Oh wow, there's a cricket set. Go on, hit us a 6. And a footy! But we can't actually interact with the footy. So this was our mechanic guy. And then we've reached the other outside edge of the universe there. Oh, an ambulance! It can't quite clock as many miles as once it did, but it still has its uses. Oh, and there's a person in a cage. What did you do? Dead ringer. Hey, the blood-splattered raider surges to his feet, gripping a chain link over the cage. Hey, strong fella. He smiles, showing dark gaps where his teeth used to be. Muscly man, striding Adonis, dispenser of justice and mercy. Get me out of this cage, eh? He tilts his head to the side and gives you puppy dog eyes, complete with pathetic whimpers and useless pawing at the side of the cage. Ready when you are. Breakfast's been had. Dog's all done. Yeah, give us a couple more secs. What will you give me to let you out? Pretty sure there's a reason for you to be here, so riddle me this. Merc. In the heat of battle, you get your 4 Fs. You're fighting, you're flighting, you're freezing, and you're fratricide. He giggles, then stops himself. Who hasn't gotten a little carried away in the wash of it all? When the blood hits the dust and it smells like, he holds his fingers to his nose, sniffs, and then looks up. Rain. Your treatment is inhumane. Who put you in here? Military-grade Barbie. He lifts his hand above his head, estimating height. She's not the decision-maker. That'd be old gut wound. He grins, slicing across his abdomen with his thumb. Who the hell is gut wound? Goes by another name now, does he? That's right, that's right. Mick Jones. Why'd you call him gut wound? That's what he used to call himself. You should ask him. You'll be in for a bloody good time. He grins. The sight is not pleasant. Why should I help you? Why shouldn't you? Don't you care about justice? What will you do if I let you free? Free? Nah, none of us are free. If we could do whatever we wanted, I'd be flying up there with the birds. He lets out a trilling whistle and a convincing facsimile of a local bird call. But getting out of this cage would be nice. Goodbye. I was hoping that would let us talk to the ambulance. Are you... That lady looks like a doctor somehow, because she's right underneath the banner called Clinic. Hello, can I help you? She puts down the rags she's tearing to make bandages and gives you her full attention. Do you need anything? A full surgical suite. Her expression doesn't change. She glances at you before continuing. For real though, distilled water is always in high demand. Woody, pear, Mari sap, lemongrass shoots, the usual. But I know someone who has water. How do I, like... How did you end up in Brockton? Was it the accent that gave me away? If she has one, it's imperceptible. I moved here after we met John, and when we had Sean, it made sense to say somewhere safe. Brockton served us well. What are the bandages for? Whoever needs them. Who are you? What do you do? I'm the doctor. Got any news? What have you got for sale? A blast grenade and bandages. She's a well-armed doctor. Goodbye. And is this the person that we helped to you? Yeah, good to see you. What do you do? Nothing much. I'm too old and I've done too much shit to bother with keeping up appearances. What did you used to do? Bit of this, bit of that. Fuel running. Past few years, Perth way. Solid gig until some shitheads set the processing plant on fire while me and Damo were still in the middle knocking out our allotted batch. The bastards. Who do you think said it? Riley's Rippers. Bastard's been dead 20 years, but his legacy's lives on for being a monumental piece of shit. Goodbye. We'll talk to our boss and then we'll call it a day. We were told to talk to our boss. Our boss, our boss, our boss. You. Ah! Oh, I'm missing out on the beautiful voice acting. Continue. I need a moment of your time. He's a broad-shouldered man, well-groomed, lots of nice stuff. He moves with fluid grace. He reminds you of a big cat. Attractive, smiling, dangerous as hell. I'll stay silent. Spit it out then. All the humor is gone, like he senses a threat. He's alert and focused, his eyes never leaving. The newcomer. My name's Jack Wakefield. Glad to have met you, Mr. Jones, as I come bearing a proposition for you and your people. Better make it quick, mate. Let me be plain then. I've come from a powerful community to the east where rebuilding civilization would like to invite Brookton to be part of the effort. Join us and we can end the age of grubbing through relics. Join us and we can usher in an age of miracles. You want us to bow and scrape to someone who's never looked our way before, who's never had the good grace to come by and say hello themselves? Civilization, And what do we get out of it, pray tell? Does it bring rain? Does it fill the fields with wheat? What happens if we say no? You should at least hear him out. I didn't ask for your opinion. We've got nothing but your word to go by. Show us some of the miracles you're so keen on bringing us into the fold. I was sent to make an offer. I'm a messenger, not a diplomat. If it's pretty words you're after, I'm not the man. You're not the man I thought you were. Well, Mr. Not a Diplomat, why don't you piss off back home and tell your overlords that if they want us kissing their boots, they're going to have to prove those boots are worth the tongue. Till they can, the answer's no. He takes the answer with equanimity. I'll ask you one more time. We can offer your people many things: food, water, protection, freedom from want or care, the future in its limitless possibilities, rather than scratching out a living at the edge of darkness. Not my job to speak up. Let me just add something, mate. We're not exactly too hard done by around here. What you're peddling might be worth work in Ardenth or Enwin, but round here we know how to take care of ourselves. He turns to Ella. Ah yes, the Andersons. You have taken care of yourselves with your protection racket, haven't you? Wouldn't want you to give up such a cushy gig, but then my offer wasn't for you. Not my job to speak up. I don't know why you're taking this bloke seriously. Join his mysterious far-off community so that we can, I don't know, all drive cars again. Mutton chop's been out in the sun too long, I reckon. Piss off, mate. No need to be rude. You've made your choice clear. My duty was to ask, and this has been done. Be assured I shall sleep soundly. Good evening to you all. Let's make sure Cole gets Bally back up on the radio. Waves toot sweet. Can't be offline if you need us in a pinch. Might be a good idea. Cheers. Tomorrow we can send someone to follow his tracks and find out where he came from. We'll get to the bottom of this. Gonna need a beer or 5 after that ordeal. Alright, we spoke to our boss, and I'm happy to call that save. Save. For our checking this out. There's probably a little bit more. I expect we probably talk to the radio guy, finish having our beer, and then it's like, you finished the first quest. But we'll see maybe another time. In any case, this looks really promising. The most promising of the demos we've checked out today. I will be keeping this on my keep an eye on list for sure. For sure. Cheers all, I hope you've enjoyed watching this demo. Hello and welcome back to the Blobber Checks Out. Broken Roads. We'd quite liked the demo so far in part 1. Let's remind ourselves what we're meant to do though. Head to the pub and get your beers on. Welcome back. What can I get you? I'll take that free beer now. Glad to hear it. Don't forget to buy the other 3. She draws you a beer with perfect head and places it in front with a flourish. I guess we should buy our 3.
Mick's hanging out for a yarn with you. Just a heads up.
Oh, doesn't actually want me to buy 3. Well, so be it.
See ya.
Heard you had a bit of trouble with the Merc up at Kokeby. I'll swing by later in the week, make sure Tina's feeling alright about how it all went down.
Guess we talked to boss. He's listening to Mishti's enthusiastic recount of the day's events with half an ear and keeping tabs on the people at the bar with the other. Valley said you wanted to talk. Sit down and share a few pints and have a yarn.
Attaboy.
Sure.
Let's get down to brass tacks.
It's a long enough walk from Kokeby. Had time to hear about a few of your exploits from Our Lady of No Bullshit. Reckon you'd be interested in my take on things. Why not?
Well then.
You're a bit on the slippery side, I have to say. Not that there's no place in the world for different points of view. It's just I take issue with the ones that affect me in ways I can't foresee. You're a hard worker. But you're too quick to step in where you should be asking questions first. Mishti's a charmer, but she's got you good, getting you to do all that work for her. She's not going to learn that way.
As for that Merc up in Kokeby,
Should have made use of that silver tongue of yours when everyone's favourite had you running around Bally doing all her own damn chores. And that's not even getting into what happened at Key Road. Well, I'm willing to listen. You and Mish make a great team. I don't know that I'd have been able to talk the kid down, but you two did, sorry, and you should be proud. Even if the most you did was keep your pie hole shut, that takes tact too.
Now, tell me I'm wrong.
I don't think you actually want me to do that. Damn straight I don't. And I'd have to hand in my mayor's badge. I like you, kid. There's more to you than I give you credit for.
The sound of hail reaches your ears a moment before Sean burst into the pub, screams and cloying smoke trailing in his wake.
Uh-oh.
Get out here! We're under attack!
Bloody mongrels! Let's show them what it
Bloody
means to tangle
mongrels.
with Brookton.
That's as far as your story goes right now. You've already made your mark on this sunburned land.
There was all of about 2 more minutes of demo to do when we ended.
On the side of life or death. And keeping your temper with an intemperate mongrel. Despite the many paths in front of us, we can only ever walk our own. What tale will your choices tell at the end of your journey down these broken roads?
Alright. I will definitely be keeping my eye out on this. I really liked this demo. I really, really like this demo. I hope this helps inform your decision about whether to do so, too.